Hey everybody, it's Cody, Dixon RC here again with the XMAXX to the moon build. Reason why we call it to the moon build is because this thing is going to go to the moon. Not really, but you know, I'm going to try. So at UST they have a long jump, high jump, and a freestyle event at the Bachelor Park on Sunday. Generally it's a bunch of XMAXXs and Losies and you know, just all around monster truck things, go fast stuff. Everybody tries to go as high as they can, as long as they can, and just tries to do wild stuff. So my thought was to take the thrift store XMAXX that I got, and we beefed it up, put a big motor in it, put a motor plate, bigger pinion, bigger spur, or well, excuse me, just bigger pinion, spur's the same, just a stronger one. I'm going to rebuild the rear shocks with the rebuild kit. They have no oil in them, and they need a little bit of rebound because this thing lands hard. I picked up a set of Proline's Pro arms for the XMAXX. They're pretty stout and pretty strong. I was afraid I may needed to get some RPM ones, but I think these are going to work out fine. No problems there. Got a full set. A full set's like 50 bucks, I think, or something like that. They're not, it may be more than that. Don't quote me on that. Maybe 60, 65. But I'm going to show you how to do one corner. Going to take it apart, show you how to do it. Then the rest of it will be time-lapsed, even the shocks, because all shocks are generally the same. This one's probably going to take a bottle of fluid per shock, more than likely, so we'll see how that goes. And then when I get done with that, we'll talk about it. I'll discuss what kind of fluid I used in it, and then hopefully I'm going to have some video of this thing jumping. But there's no sense in you watching me do the rest of them. It'll be pretty boring, and it'll be long. I'm trying to keep these short, so I'll be right back. All right, so I'm really going to try and do this to where you can see it. It's going to be hard to do. This thing is so big. I don't really have enough room anywhere at all to do anything. So it looks like this thing's all hinge pinned in, meaning there's a pin here, a pin here, a pin here, and of course pins on this part as well. Each pin is held in by a 2mm screw. You can see that one right there. Let's see if I can put it there, and there's one here, and there's one on each of these here. This, I think I'm going to have to take off the sway bar, or at least move it out of the way so I can get to these pins here. The front's the other way. They're all facing the front. So I'm going to remove this one here first. These are 2mm, nothing to them screws really and truly. The Proline kit does come with these new. You don't necessarily, you probably don't have to use theirs, but I mean, doesn't matter, probably doesn't hurt either. Take apart this lower one here. Seems like even the shocks have a pin as well. How do you reckon why they do that? I don't know why they do that. They do that so they don't break, or so the screws don't bend. Hinge pins are stronger than a screw, so hence all the impact this thing takes, it will be able to withhold a slam and not break a screw or bend a screw. That sounds legit, doesn't it, Cody? Here. See, they just come out like that there. Probably have more of a hard time trying to remember where each thing goes, to be honest with you. That's a shock. So there's our shock. Huge, dirty, nasty thing that thing is, because it has been beat on. That is the same. That is a bigger one. Those upper and lowers are the same. So we got shock. Probably a good idea to keep those so you know where they go. I would assume that probably be a big deal. You don't want to lose that at all, I would imagine. Now, let's see if I can... see if this will work here. See if this will move this thing enough to where I can. Also, that's gonna come out. Probably a good idea to double check that and make sure that's not all beat up too bad. Yeah, that may work there. Yeah, it gets it out of the way just enough. So that one has a little cover because the hinge pin actually sticks out of it. I don't know where that screw went. There it went. Got it. All right, so that goes there. Now the reason behind that is you can do this. You'll be able to take it and grab it to remove it. Boom. So there you go. So that one goes there. Now the bottom is probably going to be, it's not that bad. You can actually get to the screw without removing anything. It does not look like it has a cover. It does not. Only the upper one has a cover. Upper is adjustable as well. It has 2 different spots. So we will take, you can push this end here out, I would assume. Take it and grab it with your pliers. It's going to be tough. No, that's not that bad. Boom, there you go. Oh, dropped the pin. So, there's the, where did I do with the other one? Oh, there it is. Upper and lower on the rear. So, you basically just take it. You find your left and your right, which would be this one here. And you find your correct upper as well, which I think these are all the same. Could be wrong though. Let me double check this and make sure. All right, so we got upper and lower. Just like before, I'm going to, if there's any rocks or anything in here, which of course there is. Why would there not be? So those go in. Figure out how to put your pin in without shaking the camera too bad. There we go. I'm going to take my trusty little plastic screwdriver. We will take this and push. Always make sure it moves freely as well. Find some way to do not have any of that here. That's a shame. That'll work though. Get that out the way. That didn't work. Let's see if I can flip this thing around so I can get to it here. So this one looks like, probably a good idea to put a lower, yeah, cause see, okay, so that's the inside. It does have a screw on it. Probably be a good idea to put one on this one. I did not do that. Probably a good idea to put one on every one of these. As a matter of fact, it looks like it anyway, especially on the inside of wherever that part goes. So you just take your supplied screws, screw them in there. Got to do it on both sides as well. Remember that on this one, the pin on the outside goes in, or goes towards the back. The ones on the inside go towards the inside. So you want to be sure and these are there to be able to catch said screw, or the hinge pin, I'm sorry. So we will put this one here because it's on the outside. And that goes, need to be sure this goes in there as well. Okay, so got that. I'm going to shove this in here, the hinge pin here. There we go. Ooh, I put it in the wrong one. Hang on, there we go. There's an upper and a lower, and these were in the lower. And you don't have to use the covers anymore, it don't look like, because it has those parts in it already. So there you go on that. Probably not a good idea to use something to hit this thing all the time, but you know, it works. So these screws hold the hinge pin in place so they don't move out the way or anything crazy like that. Let's put on this one here somehow, some way. There it is. Oh, these Proline ones are already threaded as well. That's pretty nice. Something you don't see ever, really. That's something that's not very normal to this type of deal. So let's do this here. Put this one on. There we go. Easy peasy. Nothing to it. And still, like I said, make sure this stuff moves freely. You want to make sure that it doesn't give way to anything. You don't want it to move not smooth. That's the idea. You want it to be a smooth movement up and down. And then you put this part back in here for the wheelie bar. And that's it. Done with one side. Of course, you still got the shock to go, but you know, that's pretty much it there. So the rest of this I'm going to do time lapse because there's no sense in you watching me do the rest of them. That would just be super boring. So nobody's got time for all that. So I'll be back. All right, so you saw pretty much all that there. Arms went on fairly easy. Nothing to it. You do wind up having to use all those screws that it comes with because the factory one has little stops. These Prolines do not. So you have to put screws in each side so the hinge pins can stop and be held in with screws on both sides. I redid the rear shocks with my 50 weight Boom Racing 50 weight, excuse me, 50 weight oil in the rear, mainly to get it to slow down a little bit. Hoping that will also help wheelies where it doesn't wheelie as easily. I know a diff fluid change would help that as well, but I don't have time to do all that right now. So all in all, easy to do, simple little build. Doing the shocks is actually pretty easy as well. It takes about 1/4 of a bottle per shock. Yeah, give or take, maybe half. So you probably need a bottle for each two just to be safe. They rebuild really easily. I cleaned them up as well. They were really nasty. So waiting on batteries to charge. As soon as they get charged, I'm going to go out and hit it. And I'm going to, between now and the time they get done charging, I'm going to go find a ramp to jump. See if we can jump this thing, see if things will break. We're going to try and torture it and see if we can keep it together. See if it'll survive. So thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time. I'll have more video hopefully this week before I go to UST, and of course I'm going to have video of each day of UST as well. May split them up. Last year I did video each day and they were like 30 minutes long. I may split them up this time. I may not get them out each day like I did last year. I've got so much going on this time, and I've actually got people coming this year that are staying with me, and going to have lots of things going on, so I probably won't have time to sit down and do that every day. So look for that next week. I'll try and do one every day kind of deal, or not next week, but the week after at UST starting Monday. We'll do one and then do a couple one every day just about. So thanks for watching, everybody, and we'll see you next time. see if we can jump this thing in the ditch. I don't know how well this is going to work because it's not very jumpy. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. That's the ditch. Alright. Messed that up. Trey. Holy moly, this thing's fast.